please welcome Professor Yuan. 掌声欢迎。
The place with you? Sure. Okay. Good afternoon, and President TTIA President Xi and Assistant Director General Dr. Shea and Science Managing Director Bodanapol, okay, and respective panelists, and also the industry expert. Good afternoon. It is great to be here. My name is Soe-Tsyr Daphne Yuan from National Cheng-chi University. I'm also the director of Center for Public Business Administration Center and Service Science Research Center, 公企正大公企中心啊。The topic I would like to say, because I know that most of the participants here from the TTIA community member, and each of your industry most related to manufacturing industry. But I would like to say that the topic, right product service strategy is truly important. So the topic is set to be staying ahead with your right product service strategy. Just like I said earlier, the industry from energy, from ICT, hardware, software, telematics, and I believe there are many directly or indirectly created product or service from your company or industry. But also there are certain challenges encountered. The first challenge, one of the exemplary challenges is what we call dance of the silo. It's often the case that the product launched within the environment of what we call separated function silos. So within this kind of functional silo, this kind of output created outcome of a product or service, basically what we call same old from customer point of view. Okay, because you better find the balance between different functional silos. So the only resolution is the safest product will win. So this is one of the possible challenges. From the customer point of view, will be the similar product service system like the others. The second exemplary challenge is the economy evolution. As we know that the economy have been moving from goods economy to service economy and to experience economy, and now what we call transformation economy. Transformation economy means whichever product or service, you better attract large scale of the customers interest. So this kind of the two major exemplary challenges. So one good example is Apple. Okay, Apple company before the debut of iPod and iTunes. Back then, iPod was no better than that. The MP3 is no better than that from manufactured by Sony. But because of the Apple moving into this what we call what the customer needs in terms of the experience, in terms of the services, they start to migrate, transform themselves into and move into the service experience economy and come up with this kind of product service system. Same thing, not to mention the existing App Store platform product service system. So this is the Apple's story. How about your company's story? What's your story in terms of the right product service in response to this kind of economic evolution in light of your dance of the silo situation? So this is an important question. I believe truly important for each of the TTIA community industry respective companies. So, but before we can answer the question, first of all, it's very important for you to understand what's the clear differentiation between product and service. In other words, what do we mean by good dominant logic versus service dominant logic? For good dominant logic, other resources we pay most of the time to pay attention to is what we call passive resources. What do you mean by one of the example of passive resources? Something like material resources. This kind of passive resources, this is the resource mainly concerned under the good dominant logic. But for service dominant logic, this kind of open resources, or what we call active resources. Active resources, that means those resources that can perform action to achieve outcome, to achieve impact. This is what we call operant resources. So in the good dominant logic, if you only concerned about the passive resources, what you pay attention to is how are you going to acquire the resources with the cheap cost. But in service, you need to pay attention how are you going to integrate different active resources in order to deliver the desirable result. And in goods, you focus on creation of goods and services. But in service, you focus on servicing and experiencing from customer point of view. In goods, you might put a lot of effort to set your right pricing strategy. But in service, you can only propose your own value proposition and view customer as your value co-creator. In goods, you might need to do a lot of marketing in terms of promoting your goods to your customer through mass marketing campaign. But in service, you do the dialogue with your customer, try to understand your customer more. And in goods, you emphasize this kind of supply chain, but in service, this is more what we call value creation network. How are you going to integrate different active resources in what we call value creation network? So similarly, same thing for in the goods, you assume the customer only concerned about the utility, expected utility of the product or the service, and you view your customer is a maximizing utility behavior. But here in service, this is a process of the learning and exchange. And so in goods, you marketing too, but in service, you marketing with your customer. So in short, basically, product, the value exchange, we often call it value in exchange. You use money to exchange your product or service. But here in service, this is about what we call service value in use. Through the experience, through the service process, that your customer feel this kind of value proposition you propose, or even value co-created with the service provider. So this is the typical difference between product and service. And based on this kind of understanding, then we move on to what do we call product service system. A product service system, of course, by definition, it is an integrated system that consisting of product, service, and infrastructure to deliver a solution, some solution that truly attract or are tailored to certain customer needs. So, and for example, the U-Bike system. This is our Taipei's U-Bike system, a typical, a good example of product service system. They have their product, their service, their infrastructure, and the solution. Similar for Apple's App Store. This is also a good example of product service system. But actually, there are three, when we talk about product service system, between the two extremes of pure product and pure service, actually there are three different types of product service system, or what we call products, a PSS business model. Product-oriented, use-oriented, result-oriented. For product-oriented, the ownership of the material product, still at the customer side. But what the provider should do is to make sure the this kind of utility of the product over the time. They have to ensure this kind of utility of the function of the product over the time. So basically, sorry. For the second type, use-oriented, the provider basically sell the function of the product. Sell the function of product over the time. So through either renting or leasing model. Okay, this is what we call use-oriented. But for result-oriented, the product sells the result, not the function of the product. We will use the example to demonstrate what we mean by product versus, result-oriented. For example, in this is typical, product-oriented PSS. For example, in your company, you would like to have this photo machine. Because of the photocopier, would like to print a lot of your office documents. For product-oriented kind of PSS, the customer need to buy the photocopy machine, buy the required consumable, and also need to buy the service, for example, maintenance and repair, etc., technology service from the provider, and also need to pay attention to dispose this kind of copy machine. But for the result-based PSS, what the customer should do is, well, I get money because I only care about whether my company's document well printed and organized and presented to me. So it's the provider's responsibility to pay attention to maintain the photo machine, and photocopy machine, and maintain to take care of all the required consumable, disposal, etc. This kind of responsibility. So in this case, what the customer wants is only documents, well-organized document, well-printed document. So this is an example between product-oriented versus result-oriented PSS. But if we take a little bit further look, examination of these three different types of PSS in terms of their value creation, value delivery, and value capturing in product-oriented PSS, here, what the customer pay for is the product together with their contracted services. And those contracted services are going to be created and delivered by provider. So this is the product-oriented. For the use-oriented PSS, and customer have to pay continuously, do the payment over the time. But for the provider, their responsibility is only for assure the usability of the product and the function over that over the period of time. And they also have to responsible the delivery of those usability of the product service system. And for the result-oriented PSS, customer pay for the result. What kind of outcome unit they need to pay based on the unit of the result. So the provider, when they do the creation of the value and delivery, totally based on how are they going to create and deliver the result. So in this kind of situation, actually, if you were to design each type of the PSS, there are 4 essential design elements that you need to pay attention to. The first one is, the most important thing is your value proposition. Your value proposition in response to, tailored to what customer needs are going to be addressed. So this is your value proposition that have to be well addressed and decided before you move on to the other design elements. Of course, because this is a PSS, so what kind of product involved and what will be the life cycle of the product within the PSS system. And also, because this is a PSS system that would involve multiple actors. Okay, this is all the active resources we are talking about earlier. Active, what would be the actor that can be able to co-create this value proposition? And this set of the actor network, their respective activities through the life cycle. This is what we call activity modeling cycle. So these 4 are each dimension of the essential design elements would impact the other dimension. So So when you do the design of the your own PSS, these four are correlated to each other. Each one will impact the others, affect the others. So in other words, within this PSS design process, you need to configure your product components as well as your service components, starting from your PSS idea, development stage, your PSS planning stage, your requirement analysis stage, your design and integration different actor stage, and then test, refinement, implementation, and then recycling. This whole design process, this product component plus service component, whenever you decide what PSS type, respective product component and service component, that have to be designed and incorporated into and taken into account throughout the PSS design process. And because most of the audience company are manufacturer company, in light of this kind of what we call the current service experience economy and transformation economy, you need to decide your right PSS business model, either product-oriented, user-oriented, or result-oriented. Once you decide your appropriate type of business model, then you will have what kind of contracted service you are going to deliver, what kind of marketing campaign, and collaborating with your customer, product service design, and this kind of issue like sustainability and your action network and their respective activity model, they will be subsequently defined once you have your business model determined beforehand. So here is an example. Even though this is not truly related to ICT, but it is a good example, a real example to better address when you do the design. Ghana, this is a west part of Africa. The citizens there cannot afford toilet at home. But on the other hand, their public sanitary service have a serious problem like cleanliness and convenience. So if in that case, product-oriented PSS will work for that kind of country, Ghana, in Africa. So one possible situation is you think about whether it could be done by use-oriented or it could be done by result-based oriented. But if you consider the Ghana system, their needs is affordability. So you can use use-oriented PSS to do the value proposition, but you also can use the result-based. But if the needs is about result, affordability, okay, this is truly the customer need, then the respective components, product component as well as service component will be different with respect to different type of business model. So if we consider affordability is truly the needs that the customer would like to will be willing to pay for, but the cost is truly low. In this case, they consider two product component. One is toilet, the other one is removable waste container. So this is two product components along the line. Along the design of the PSS system, they also have service components. For example, a local franchise operator provides this kind of waste collection service and or replace the old waste container with the new one, and then take the waste to the nearby neighborhood transfer tank. And also have the service component, have the truck to vacant this kind of the local transfer tank, and then use that kind of waste collected to generate electricity to subsidize the local franchise operator. so that the results for the BDD will be able to realize within that kind of Ghana very poverty area of the country, this kind of result. So this is a simple example, but the real world example for you to think about when you do the design of the PSS, whether product oriented or user oriented or result oriented, what kind of the right PSS is strategy is right for your company, and what will be the product component configuration, service component configuration, the both different type of configuration, and involving your actors, etc., in order to deliver your right value proposition that will attract and pay by that particular segment of the customers. So this is an example. So in short, when you think about what will be your right product service system, well, you need to ensure your PSS is really what customer needs, not what your engineers think, not your engineer think customer needs. This is often the case, and this is the gap that often occurs to a lot of industry and business. And also offer your PSS that provide desirable benefit, even in comparison with your competitors' PSS, and match your pricing strategy to your PSS value proposition, okay? And produce, if possible, produce ROI that can quickly recoup your development costs, and then drive strong cash throughout ongoing sale and service, and motivate your customer to buy more, and make it easier for customer to stick with your PSS for the long haul, rather than to search for the alternative. And finally, try to, your PSS, you keep inventing good, really desirable PSS. So whenever it's time to migrate your existing customer to your newer PSS, when time has come. So this is a typical, simple, but intuitive, but truly important if you think about what will be your right product service system or strategy. So finally, just retrospect about your company story. What will be your right PSS strategy and respective action to make? And what's your opportunity as well as your challenge? These are truly important for you to stay ahead with your right product service system, PSS. So hopefully my talk can inspire you something to think about within your company, within your industry, and thank you.